Hi, it's Dan here from Flexxable, and today we're going to talk about the new way to use lookalike audiences in Facebook. Let's get stuck in. Lookalike audiences maybe 3 to 5 years ago were awesome, okay, because of the tracking ability of Facebook and before the iOS 14 update, they were a really great way to create really good audiences to advertise to. But what happened after iOS is that things, pretty much bombed, and we actually stopped using lookalike audiences for quite some time, and we're just generally running broad audiences or interest-based audiences. But what's happened now is we've started to use lead forms a lot more, and when we're able to use lead forms to create our lookalike audiences, things have really started going well for us. In fact, we've been able to slash our cost per appointment by up to 60% for one of our client getting campaigns, and it just keeps going. We haven't had to touch it, okay? It's because it constantly refreshes. It's just been a fantastic ad set for us. So a nice rule of thumb to have when you're creating your custom audiences to be able to create your lookalike audiences from, you want to make sure that you're only using them from in-app experiences, okay? If they leave the Facebook platform and go to a website, a landing page, thank you page or whatever on another website, it just doesn't work that well, all right? So if you're wanting to kind of create decent lookalike audiences, then you can look at kind of engagement of the ads, clicks, etc. And then obviously the further you go down to the other end, which is actual leads to create your lookalike custom audiences and lookalike audiences, that's what really works well. So we only tested 1% lookalikes, and we tried this for clicks, engagement, open lead forms and submitted lead forms. And open and submitted lead forms worked best for us. But what we did next really changed everything. But before I reveal more, I wanted to let you know about our free group, the Pay Per Lead Ninjas over at Facebook. It's growing rapidly. We give away a ton of good stuff. There's JV partners, there's white labelers, there's people that can help you with all sorts of ad platforms. The Pay Per Lead performance marketing world is growing rapidly, and we think the Pay Per Lead Ninjas is probably the best place on the planet to learn pay per lead. You can find out about that here. Please click and join. All right, so when we tested our 1% lookalikes by themselves, it went well, right? Out of the gate, it went well, and we reduced our cost per lead, and we were super happy with it. But what really supercharged things and what slashed our cost per lead by up to 60% was when we overlaid our best interest audiences with our lead form opens and lead submission lookalike audiences, okay? When we combine both of those together, we've been running the same ads to the same audience in that ad set for over a month now. We haven't had to touch it, and it's just been pumping. Like it's probably been getting a little bit better over time, which is very unusual for Facebook, as you know. So it's really worth giving this a go, especially if you have if you're running lead form ads and you're able to kind of create custom audiences off the back of those actions that they take. All right, so there's a couple of basic rules of thumb you need to think about if you're going to try this. And it will change depending on how much you're spending per day and how broad your offer is. But the first thing is you want to have at least 500 people in your custom audience before you create the lookalike. And once you've overlaid the lookalike, 1% lookalike audience with your best interest, you want to have about 500,000 people in there or more in order to give yourself a fighting chance. Because we love you, I'm going to pass you over to Graham, who's going to show you exactly how to go into the Facebook platform and set the custom audience up, how to do the lookalikes, and how to overlay with interest and make sure you've got a big enough audiences and where to find all that type of stuff. All right, so without further ado, I'll pass him on to you now.
Thanks, Dan. Hey guys, so just a quick bonus to kind of show you how to create these audiences. So obviously you're in Ads Manager, you want to go down to Audiences here, and now I'm just going to show you how to quickly create each different custom audience when this loads up. So you go up here to create audience, custom audience. Now here it all depends website. This is based off of your pixel traffic to like your landers, so we're not going to be using that today. Obviously customer list, very simple, the same. It's just an Excel spreadsheet upload. Video, here's where you can get your video engagements. So these sources are the sources that we're talking about in the video. They're all based on app, which means Facebook has a lot more visibility. So again, like you can do videos here, interactions with your ads or posts on your Facebook page can be done here. Instagram account, any interaction on the events, instant experience instructions, so like your collections or your carousels, shopping on Facebook listings. I'm just going to show you how to do it with lead forms, because that's what we're really going into now. So we want to find our page, which is down Wardrobe. And here you can select anyone who has opened this form, which basically means clicked on your ad. People who have opened and didn't submit the form, so you can use that kind of for your retargeting if you so wish. And then people who have opened and submitted the form. So I would make one audience for this one. Now I've already made this audience, so I'm not going to do it, but I'd make open lead form 90 days. And it's worth noting, if you've got many lead forms that you're running multiple ads to, if you're like, testing out different messaging or anything like that, you can select more than one. We've just got one lead form in this page at the moment, but you can select more than one, so it builds a bigger audience if you're running multiple lead forms. And then once you've done that, you can create your audience. Then you want to come back in and you want to create one for opened and submitted, 90 days, and then submitted lead form. Once you created those, then obviously you can go and create a lookalike from that. So I'm just going to search that. Obviously we're running this in the United States at the moment. This is for our group growth. And again, just create it like that. So it's very simple. And again, then you want to go and create one for submitted. Again, we're just doing 1% at the moment. We can play around with 2, 3, 4% later on. But yeah, that's how you set up the lookalikes. And then just to give you an understanding of how we overlay, let's go back into our ads manager, go to campaigns. Let's go into one of these. And now say we've got enough data for lookalikes, and we've got a few interests that have been doing well. I'm going to duplicate just to show you what I mean. Okay, so let's load this up. So obviously you want instant forms. You should have all set this all up yourself. When it comes to the targeting, so we've got it of enhanced list right now. That's a list from our CRM, but then now we've got enough data to use opened. We haven't got enough to use submitted yet, but once we do, I'll be adding that in as well. Oh, 1 second, that's not lookalikes. Looking for lookalike. There we go. There we go. 1% lookalike done. And we also exclude anyone who's in our group or has submitted the lead form. That's pretty standard. But I'm going to take this off just for the time being, just so I can see the size of the audience, because obviously we want to make sure that it's over 500,000, as Dan mentioned. So at the moment, this audience is 1.5 to 1.8. Here we want to start putting in our best audiences. So let's say digital marketing. That's quite a big audience, so this should be sizable. Yeah, so perfect. So it brings it up to like 600 to 730. So what that's searching for are people who are lookalikes and kind of who are also interested in digital marketing. If it's a bit too low, I'll start adding a few more interests. So we could add something in like Gary V. Used to be a big interest on here. and that should, yeah, so that's how you start to push it over that 500,000 mark. Also, adding in the submitted group, the submitted 1% will be handy as well, because that will boost it as well. But that's kind of how we run it. It's basically using the locations, age, and genders that you're running it to. Normally, you just add in the lookalikes overlaid onto your best interests, and it just works like crazy. So hopefully that's been helpful. If you've got any questions, comment below. And thanks a lot for listening, guys. Cheers. Bye.
All right, so thank you so much for watching the video today. If you did like this video, please give us a like so we know to create more videos like this. Secondly, if you've got any questions at all, I'll pass them over to Graham, and he'll help you out on how to do this and the custom audiences and all of that type of stuff. And lastly, please subscribe to our channel so you'll be the first to know whenever a new video comes out. I'll speak soon.